What's up, old school homies? Today we're going to go into rock identification. A lot of this is a little bit more difficult, but it takes time. So, of course, in all my videos, you don't see me correctly identifying my rocks. I'm just kind of taking hunches at stuff. And it's inspiring to watch people try to identify a rock when they first see it. Like if they know about rocks, then they'll look at it and they'll start going down the list of different ways that they classify a rock as being this or that. And each rock gets its own little treatment of what I would do to it. Like the other day when I showed you guys I found a ruby in the parking lot, I immediately put it under black light, and I was delighted right away when I saw it glowed. And I knew right away, because there was no flaws in it, that it was a lab created ruby. And just by that quick identification, I've never looked at that rock again. I put it in a bag and I put it, I adored it a few times, but I was trying to say I don't think about that rock anymore after doing one test under a black light and noticing that it didn't have any flaws. Those were two things that told me it's an actual ruby and that it's lab created because it's too good to be true. It just has no flaws. But my test is usually to see if it's a rock at all. I'll click it to my tooth. It's important. It helps a lot because you can tell from all the different things you've eaten in your life what feels like plastic, what feels ceramic, metal. I mean, we've all bitten into the fork here and there. If rocks do scratch glass, like this petrified wood, we found out it's a glass scratcher. It's actually got a good green streak in there. And I was like, I hope this is really petrified wood. It's so pretty. And it scratched glass, which quartz is basically stronger than glass. I think glass is around 5 or 6, probably 6, 6.5, and quartz is 7, 7.5. So scratch tests aren't good for gems. Like, don't just start scratching soft gems, because there are a lot of soft gems. I have gems that are worth a lot of money, and if you scratch tested them, it would ruin them. It would just, like a hardness of 5. There's ones out there with a hardness of 2 that are worth just thousands of dollars. So don't start scratch testing your gems at all, whatsoever. It's not fun. It's not funny. Don't start chipping up anybody's stuff. I mean, I know diamonds are hard, but diamonds chip too. Which goes into another thing with like rock identification. You could usually tell what kind of rock it is by the way it layers into being a rock. Like, is it a bunch of little bits? Is it a bunch of layers? Is it a bunch of hexagonal shapes? These are all tells. You can always tell if it's in a raw form. You can tell, but obviously those have lines. That's going to look more like wood. Once it's carved into something, it's going to be harder to say, okay, I can't tell what kind of rock this was because of that, and you'll have to go into more of how far of a polish did it get, and can it be polished to a full level, or is it come to a waxy polish? You can go on and on, but scratch testing things, testing how cold they are to your face, looking at the cleavage, it's all critical.